Yo, how's it going, guys? And today we're gonna talk about the topic today is out of Egypt. Why return? So I was listening to my again. This is coming from our youth leader. He's a good youth leader. And he taught me something. Look up Proverbs 26:11. Proverbs 26:11. Proverbs. Gotta look at it. 7:27. Well, I'm sorry. Proverbs 26:11. 26:11. 26. 28. 26:11. So 26:11 says, like a dog that returns to its vomit, so a fool repents his fully. So when I don't know. So when Moses saved the Egyptians, did all that did all that stuff to save the Egyptians, parted the sea, what's it called, made the frogs fall down, and he wanted to save them out of slavery and protect them. So so after all that happened, the frogs fell down, the bloody, but so the Egyptians were out of slavery. They were finally out, and they weren't doing what they needed to do, like what God wanted them to do. They were still sinning. They were still committing adultery. They were still doing what they all the sins they do. And what's it called? They were doing the sins, and God didn't like that. So Moses was like, look, God, you gotta. And God was ready to kill them all. And Moses stood there, prayed to God. He was like, "Don't kill them. Don't do that. What are the other kings and everybody gonna think of you?" And that kind of made me think. I'm like, man, maybe Moses had to learn something on that too. So little something you should think about. You should think about that. I'm gonna think about that too. I'm still trying to figure out what Moses is trying to. But look, they were in the deserts, and they were complaining, about stuff. They were complaining about their status. They were mad that they were in the desert, and they were mad that they were in the desert. They were mad that they were, and he took them out of slavery. God took them out of slavery and everything. They were still complaining and stuff. And this really ties in because with our normal lives, this just ties in with us because we're out here sinning. We're sinning and stuff. We're out here sinning. We're out here complaining to God about little things that we shouldn't be complaining about. Like, I can't stop smoking. You can stop. You just gotta stop. You gotta force yourself to stop. You just gotta really have yourself in your mind and your body to stop. You gotta get rid of it. You gotta throw it in the trash. You gotta do something with it. I know, you gotta find something that's gonna keep that habit away from you. Something that you like to do, something that you do all the time. Like me, I'll go around shooting a basketball around. It's kind of cold, or go work out. I start working out, read the word. I watch TV. I play video games, listen to music, write music, come up with ideas. There's so much to do throughout the day that you can look. So you don't have no problem. You shouldn't be complaining about what you shouldn't be complaining, because you got all the resources that you need. You got all the resources that's there. You complain that your stomach hurts. You complain that it's gonna get better. It'll get better. The more you pray, the more you stick to God, the more you stay on the path that you're supposed to be, it's going to get better. So it's like, alright, God's people complained about their status in the desert. They stated that they were better off in Egypt. They even said they were better off in Egypt. What's it called? They were better off in slavery. They said that they were better off in slavery than being out of slavery. And that's when you're trying to, that's something like to think about, like, what's it called? Because, you know what I mean, when you're getting out of that, you don't want to go back into that. You know, you want to do good. You want to do better. So, the whole point that I'm getting here is, don't complain about your status. You know, stick with what you need to stick with, and you know, God will always reward you. God will find a way to reward you. If He don't reward you, I'm gonna tell you right now, if you can't get rewarded, you gotta reward yourself. You gotta reward yourself with stuff. Like, you gotta work on rewarding yourself. So let me tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something. You can't rely on God all the time. God's not gonna help you. Look, the only person that's gonna help you is yourself. You're the only person that's, like, yeah, God can help. Yeah, God can do miracles, but you can't rely on that. You can't rely on that because you don't know if God's gonna make you wait on that miracle or make you, like, what's it called? Make you stronger to get to where you need to be. You know what I mean? You might have to go through some paths to get to where you need to be. You might have to go through some really difficult paths, difficult work, difficult status to get to where you want to be. Because you gotta do what you need. Because it's all. No, I believe in Jesus and I believe in God. I believe in everything that's in the Bible. My youth leader told me this. This Bible right here is going to tell you what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong. This Bible is going to tell you what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong. It's going to tell you what you should do and what you shouldn't do. There was another one he said, I forgot. But I gotta rewatch this because I hope I got to the point where but yeah, I didn't have a lot to say in this video. My notes. Yeah. Alright, guys. I'm out.